Hello, family. We left off at chapter 52 in the book of Jasher, and we will pick up right there in chapter 52, verse 1. They entered their house, and every man opened his sack, and they looked, and there every man's bundle of money was there, at which they and their father were greatly terrified. 2. And Jacob said to them, "What is this that you have done to me? I sent your brother Joseph to inquire after your welfare, and you said to me, a wild beast did devour him." 3. And Simon went with you to buy food, and you say the king of Egypt hath confined him in prison. And you wish to take Benjamin to cause his death also, and bring down my gray hairs with sorrow to the grave on account of Benjamin and his brother Joseph? 4. Now therefore, my son shall not go down with you, for his brother is dead, and he is left alone, and mischief may befall him by the way in which you go, as it befell his brother. 5. Reuben said to his father, "You shall kill my 2 sons if I do not bring your son and place him before you." Jacob said to his sons, "Abide ye here, and do not go down to Egypt, for my son shall not go down with you to Egypt, nor die like his brother." 6. And Judah said to them, "Refrain from him until the corn is finished." And he will then say, "Take down your brother." When he finds his own life and the life of his household in danger from the famine. 7. In those days the famine was severe throughout the land, and all the people of the earth went and came to Egypt to buy food. For the famine continued greatly among them. And the sons of Jacob remained in Canaan 1 year and 2 months until their corn was finished. 8. And it came to pass after their corn was finished, the whole household of Jacob was pinched with hunger. And all of the infants of the sons of Jacob came together, and they approached Jacob. They all surrounded him and said to him, "Give to us bread, for why shall we all perish through hunger in your presence?" 9. Jacob heard the words of his sons' children, and he wept a great weeping, and his pity was roused for them. Jacob called to his sons, and they all came and sat before him. 10. And Jacob said to them, "Have you not seen how your children have been weeping over me this day, saying, 'Give to us bread,' and there is none? Now therefore return and buy for us a little food." 11. And Judah answered and said to his father, "If you will send our brother with us, we will go down and buy corn for you. And if you will not send him, then we will not go down. For certainly the king of Egypt particularly requested us, saying, 'You shall not see my face unless your brother is with you.' The king of Egypt is a strong and mighty king. And behold, if we shall go to him without our brother, we shall all be put to death." 12. Do you not know, and have you not heard, that the king is very powerful and wise, and there is no one like him in all the earth? Behold, we have seen all the kings of the earth, and we have not seen one like that king, the king of Egypt. Certainly among all the kings of the earth, there is none greater than Abimelech, king of the Philistines. Yet the king of Egypt is greater and mightier than he. And Abimelech can only be compared to one of his officers. 13. Father, you have not seen his palace. Excuse me, family. You have not seen his palace and his throne and all his servants standing before him. You have not seen that king on his throne in his pomp and royal appearance, dressed in his kingly robes with a large golden crown on his head. You have not seen the honor and glory that which Elohim has given to him, for there is no one like him in all the earth. 14. Father, you have not seen the wisdom, the understanding, and the knowledge which Elohim has given in his heart, nor heard his sweet voice when he spoke to us. 15. We know not, Father, who made him acquainted with our names and all that happened to us. Yet he asked also after you, saying, is your father still living, and is it well with him? 16. You have not seen the affairs of the government of Egypt regulated by him. Without inquiring of Pharaoh his lord, you have not seen the awe and fear which he impressed on all the Egyptians. 17. And also, when we went from him, we were threatened of doing to Egypt like to the rest of the cities of the Amorites. And we were greatly angered against all his words which he spoke concerning us as spies. Now when we shall again come before him, his terror will fall on us all, and not one of us will be able to speak to him either a little or a great thing. 18. Now therefore, Father, send, we pray you, the lad with us, and we will go down and buy you food for our support, and not die through hunger. And Jacob said, why have you dealt so ill with me to tell the king you had a brother? What is this thing that you have done to me? 19. And Judah said to Jacob his father, give the lad into my care, and we will rise up and go down to Egypt and buy corn, and then return. And it shall be when we return, if the lad is not with us, then let me bear your blame forever. 20. Have you seen all our infants weeping over you through hunger? And there is no power in your hand to satisfy them. Now let your pity be roused for them, and send our brother with us, and we will go. 21. For how will the Lord's kindness to our ancestors be manifested to you when you say that the king of Egypt will take away your son? As the Lord lives, I will not leave him until I bring him and place him before you. But pray for us to the Lord, that he may deal kindly with us, to cause us to be received favorably and kindly before the king of Egypt and his men. For had we not delayed, certainly by now we had returned a second time with your son. 22. And Jacob said to his sons, I trust in the Lord Elohim, that he may deliver you and give you favor in the sight of the king of Egypt and in the sight of all his men. 23. Now therefore rise up and go to the man, and take for him in your hands a present from what can be obtained in the land, and bring it before him. And may the Almighty Elohim give you mercy before him, that he may send Benjamin and Simon, your brothers, with you. 24. And all the men rose up, and they took their brother Benjamin, and they took in their hands a large present of the best of the land, and they also took a double portion of silver. 25. And Jacob strictly commanded his sons concerning Benjamin, saying, take care of him in the way in which you are going, and do not separate yourselves from him in the road, neither in Egypt. 26. And Jacob rose up from his sons and spread forth his hands, and he prayed to the Lord on account of his sons, saying, O Lord, most high of heaven and earth, remember your covenant with our father Abraham. Remember it with my father Isaac, and deal kindly with my sons, and deliver them not into the hands of the king of Egypt. Do it, I pray you, O Elohim, for the sake of your mercies, and redeem all my children, and rescue them from Egyptian power, and send them their two brothers. 27. And all the wives of the sons of Jacob and their children lifted up their eyes to heaven, and they all wept before the Lord, and cried to him to deliver their fathers from the hand of the king of Egypt. 28. Jacob wrote a record to the king of Egypt, and gave it into the hand of Judah, and into the hands of his sons for the king of Egypt, saying, 29. From your servant Jacob, son of Isaac, son of Abraham, the Hebrew, the prince of the Most High, to the powerful and wise king, the revealer of secrets, king of Egypt, greeting. 30. Be it known to my lord, the king of Egypt, the famine was heavy on us in the land of Canaan, and I sent my sons to you to buy us a little food from you for our support. 31. For my sons surrounded me, and I, being very old, cannot see with my eyes, for my eyes have become very dim through age, as well as with daily weeping for my son, for Joseph, who was lost from before me. I commanded my sons that they should not enter the gates of the city when they came to Egypt, on account of the inhabitants of the land. 32. And I also commanded them to go about Egypt to seek for my son Joseph. Perhaps they might find him there. And they did so, and you did consider them as spies of the land. 33. Have we not heard concerning you that you did interpret Pharaoh's dream and did speak truly to him? How then do you not know in your wisdom whether my sons are spies or not? 34. Now therefore, my Lord and King, behold, I have sent my son before you, as you did speak to my sons. I beg you to put your eyes on him until he is returned to me in peace with his brothers. 35. For do you not know, or have you not heard that which our Most High did to Pharaoh when he took my mother Sarah, and what he did to Abimelech, king of the Philistines, on account of her, and also what our father Abraham did to the 9 kings of Elam, how he struck them all with a few men that were with him. 36. And also what my 2 sons, Simon and Levi, did to the 8 cities of the Amorites, and how they destroyed them on account of their sister Dinah. 37. And also on account of their brother Benjamin, they consoled themselves for the loss of their brother Joseph. What will they then do for him when they see the hand of any people prevailing over them for his sake. 38. Do you not know, O king of Egypt, that the power of the Most High is with us, and that also Elohim ever hears our prayers and forsakes us not all the days. 39. And when my sons told me of your dealings with them, I called not to the Lord on account of you, for then you would have perished with your men before my son Benjamin came before you. But I thought that as Simon, my son, was in your house, perhaps you might deal kindly with him. Therefore, I did not do this thing to you. 40. Now, therefore, behold, Benjamin, my son, comes to you with my sons. Take care of him and put your eyes on him. And then will the Most High place his eyes over you and throughout your kingdom. 41. Now I have told you all that is in my heart. And behold, my sons are coming to you with their brother. Examine the face of the whole earth for their sake, and send them back in peace with their brothers. 42. And Jacob gave the record to his sons into the care of Judah to give it to the king of Egypt. That's the end of chapter 52, family. And we'll begin on chapter 53, verse 1. The sons of Jacob rose up and took Benjamin and all of the presents. They went and came to Egypt, and they stood before Joseph. 2. And Joseph beheld his brother Benjamin, and Joseph beheld his brother Benjamin with them, and he saluted them. And these men came to Joseph's house. 3. Joseph commanded the superintendent of his house to give food to his brothers to eat, and he did so to them. 4. At noontime, Joseph sent for the men to come before him with Benjamin. And the men told the superintendent of Joseph's house concerning the silver that was returned in their sacks. He said to them, "It will be well with you. Fear not." And he brought their brother Simon to them. 5. And Simon said to his brothers, "The Lord of the Egyptians has acted very kindly to me. He did not keep me bound, as you saw with your eyes. For when you went out from the city, he let me free and dealt kindly with me in his house." 6. And Judah took Benjamin by the hand, and they came before Joseph, and they bowed down to him to the ground. 7. The men gave the present to Joseph, and they all sat before him. And Joseph said to them, "It is well with you. Is it well with your children? Is it well with your aged father?" And they said, "It is well." And Judah took the record which Jacob had sent and gave it into the hand of Joseph. 8. Joseph read the letter and knew his father's writing, and he wished to weep. He went into an inner room, and he wept a great weeping. And he came out. 9. He lifted up his eyes and observed his brother Benjamin, and said, "Is this your brother of whom you spoke to me?" Benjamin approached Joseph, and Joseph placed his hand on his head, and he said to him, "May Elohim be gracious to you, my son." 10. And when Joseph saw his brother, the son of his mother, he again wished to weep. And he entered the chamber, and he wept there. He washed his face and came out and refrained from weeping. He said, "Prepare food." 11. Joseph had a cup from which he drank. It was of silver, beautifully inlaid with onyx stones and bdellium. And Joseph struck the cup in the sight of his brothers while they were sitting to eat with him. 12. Joseph said to the men, I know by this cup that Reuben, the firstborn, Simon and Levi and Judah, Issachar and Zebulun are children from one mother. Seat yourselves and eat according to your births. 13. He also placed the others according to their births and said, I know that this, your youngest brother, has no brother. I, like him, have no brother. He shall therefore sit down to eat with me. 14. Benjamin went up before Joseph and sat on the throne, and the men beheld the acts of Joseph, and they were astonished at them. The men ate and drank at that time with Joseph, and he then gave presents to them. Joseph gave one gift to Benjamin, and Manasseh and Ephraim saw the acts of their father, and they also gave presents to him. And Osnath gave him one present, and there were 5 presents in the hands of Benjamin. 15. Joseph brought out wine to drink, and they would not drink. They said, from the day in which Joseph was lost, we have not drunk wine, nor eaten any delicacies. 16. And Joseph swore to them, and he pressed them hard. They drank plentifully with him on that day. And Joseph afterward turned to his brother Benjamin to speak with him. And Benjamin was still sitting on the throne before Joseph. 17. Joseph said to him, have you had any children? And he said, your servant has 10 sons, and these are their names: Bela, Becher, Ashbal, Jerah, Naaman, Achi, Rosh, Mupim, Chupim, and Ord. And I called their names after my brother, whom I have not seen. 18. He ordered them to bring before him his map of the stars, whereby Joseph knew all the times. And Joseph said to Benjamin, I have heard that the Hebrews are acquainted with all wisdom. Do you know anything of this? 19. And Benjamin said, thy servant knows all the wisdom which my father taught me. Joseph said to Benjamin, look now at this instrument and understand where your brother Joseph is in Egypt, who you said went down to Egypt. 20. And Benjamin observed that instrument with the map of the stars of heaven. And he was wise and looked therein to know where his brother was. Benjamin divided the whole land of Egypt into 4 divisions. And he found that he who was sitting on the throne before him was his brother Joseph. Benjamin wondered greatly. And when Joseph saw that his brother Benjamin was so much astonished, he said to Benjamin, what have you seen, and why are you astonished? 21. Benjamin said to Joseph, I can see by this that Joseph, my brother, sits here with me on the throne. And Joseph said to him, I am Joseph, your brother. Reveal not this thing to your brothers. I will send you with them when they go away, and I will command them to be brought back again into the city, and I will take you away from them. 22. And if they risk their lives and fight for you, then shall I know that they have repented of what they did to me. I will make myself known to them, and if they turn away from you when I take you, then shall you remain with me, and I will fight with them, and they shall go away. I will not become known to them. 23. At that time, Joseph commanded his officer to fill their sacks with food and to put each man's money into his sack, and to put the cup in the sack of Benjamin, and give them provisions for the road. And they did so to them. 24. On the next day, the men rose up early in the morning and loaded their asses with their corn. They went forth with Benjamin and went to the land of Canaan with their brother Benjamin. 25. They had not gone far from Egypt when Joseph commanded him that was set over his house, saying, Rise, pursue these men before they get too far from Egypt, and say to them, Why have you stolen my master's cup? 26. Joseph's officers rose up, and he reached them, and he spoke to them all the words of Joseph. When they heard this thing, they became greatly angry. And they said, He with whom your master's cup shall be found shall die, and we will also become slaves. 27. They hurried, and each man brought down his sack from his ass, and they looked in their bags, and the cup was found in Benjamin's bag. They all tore their garments, and they returned to the city. Excuse me. And they struck Benjamin in the road, continually smiting him until he came into the city, and they stood before Joseph. 28. Judah's anger was set ablaze, and he said, This man has only brought me back to destroy Egypt this day. 29. The men came to Joseph's house, and they found Joseph sitting on his throne, and all the mighty men standing at his right and left. 30. And Joseph said to them, What is this act that you have done, that you took away my silver cup and went away? But I know that you took my cup in order to know thereby in what part of the land your brother was. 31. Judah said, What shall we say to our Lord? What shall we speak, and how shall we justify ourselves? Elohim has this day found the iniquity of all your servants. Therefore has he done this thing to us this day. 32. Joseph rose up and caught hold of Benjamin and took him from his brothers with violence. And he came to the house and locked the door at them. Joseph commanded him that was set over his house that he should say to them, Thus says the king, Go in peace to your father. Behold, I have taken the man in whose hand my cup was found. And that's the end of chapter 53, family. I pray for understanding and thank you for listening.